Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this week. And gosh darn it, what a week it's been. What a week. Holy cow. Earlier in the week, I made some jokes. I joked about Trump threatening tariffs because of smoke, because of wildfires. And yeah, sometimes life is funnier than the joke, I guess, because he has done that. I'm just amazed. You know, wildfires are a natural disaster. We're going through a natural disaster. And what do friends normally do when you got a disaster going on? They normally say, "Hey, can I help? Let me send you some firefighters. Let me send you some resources. Let's help get this under control." You don't stand back and say, "Oh, this is all your fault. You should have been out there raking your woods. I'm going to hit you with tariffs. I'm going to make this really hurt." That's just craziness. It's craziness. So I know I don't technically do a monologue on Sundays, but I'll tell you, it's just one of those things where I'm like, I kind of want to rant on it. I kind of want to rant a wee bit. So let's talk a little bit about fire. And maybe we'll turn it into a monologue. We can have a Sunday monologue if we want. So I gotta say. So obviously, I think most people, when they first seen the headline that Trump was threatening tariffs because of the wildfire smoke, I mean, you probably first of all checked to see if it was The Onion or Beaverton. In other words, was it satire? Unfortunately, though, it wasn't. Donald Trump, Mr. President, he's threatened to throw additional tariffs at Canada, all because that smoke is impacting Americans. And he's argued that he said Canada has failed to properly manage its forests, that the smoke is costing billions of dollars to the U.S. economy. And he wants to get that $1 billion back through tariffs. So it's kind of an interesting thing. And I don't care where you stand politically, but I think we can all together ask one certain question. Is this even legal? I mean, can a U.S. president actually tariff another country because of smoke? Oh boy. So first of all, let's clarify what tariffs are. And I think we all know what they are, but we don't actually pay these tariffs. So the smoke tariffs, Canada's not going to pay for them. The American consumer, those will be the ones who pay. Well, even then, technically it'll be the importers who pay, and then they'll pass that on to the American consumer. So American businesses are going to end up paying more. And, here's the thing. I think they're going to also be looking at this and saying, is this even legal? So the U.S. Constitution, it does give a lot of authority to Congress over trade. However, when it comes to presidents, technically, they do have a broad authority to impose tariffs under certain circumstances. In other words, we're talking national security, national emergencies, unfair trade practices, or economic threats. That, I gotta say, wildfire smoke doesn't fit into any one of those. I feel like he'll probably argue it, maybe he'll argue it as a national emergency, that we're the source of a major U.S. emergency with the smoke. I don't know how he's going to argue that. I will just say it's not very obvious how he's going to be able to justify if this is not just an idle threat. Because keep in mind, we are talking Donald Trump, and he makes a lot of threats that he doesn't actually follow through on. So that's a kind of another interesting thing. But I will say If he does it, I mean, first of all, he has to have some kind of legal justification. Probably will do it through an executive order. He loves those executive orders. And it will almost certainly be followed by court challenges, and it will probably get thrown out if he even does it. That's the thing. So what exactly would he say? I mean, there's a couple of possibilities. He could declare that Canada's forest management, or lack thereof, is creating an economic emergency affecting U.S. commerce. That might be one way. He could technically launch a formal trade investigation and argue that Canada's actions are causing measurable economic harm. I think that's a little more flimsy. Or he could simply just incorporate wildfire smoke into the broader tariff negotiations that are already underway with Canada. So basically just use it as another part of his bargaining chips. It'll be interesting to see how this is all going to turn out. I'm not super worried. I'm kind of leaning towards it being an empty threat. But I will say, obviously, if he were to go ahead, and let's say he does impose tariffs, what's he going to tariff? Will it be a broad tariff? Or will it be specific goods? I mean, ironically, lumber would be the best one to tariff. I mean, just, from a standpoint, since it's burning wood causing the smoke, but it could be anything. It could be lumber, aluminum, manufactured goods, steel, agriculture. But a lot of that will bite him in the butt. I mean, a lot of these tariffs are going to bite the U.S. in the butt eventually anyway, so I'm not super worried. And if it did go ahead, I can guarantee Canada would probably challenge it. I mean, wildfires, they're classified as natural disasters. Nobody can stop the lightning. And, when you're dealing with a country that is the second largest in the world with, a lot of forest, you really can't manage it. You really can't manage it. And I know we've talked a little bit on Friday about drone technology. Even then, you're going to need a lot of drones. It's a lot of forest. Like you take some of these areas are like hundreds of miles away from roads. So you can't, it's not like you can just, there's no realistic way to get in there. If anything, I still think they should be helping us, not hurting us. Oh boy. And I will just say this, the tariffs, he threatens them over. I mean, if he has a bad morning, he might threaten a tariff. I mean, so far, I think we've been threatened with tariffs over immigration, our massive fentanyl trade, our meager defense spending, our digital taxes, and of course now let's add wildfire smoke to the list. There's still another 2 years. I'm sure that more things will be added to that list before we're done. So can he do it? Absolutely. Will he do it? Possibly, probably not. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. All right. There we go. A Sunday monologue, a little one. There, we can get rid of the little monologue guy. And how are you guys doing? How is your weekend going? I am absolutely curious. Jonathan says, am I late for a goat video? No, there's always goat videos, that's for sure. Later this afternoon, guys, we're going to get our picks for Canadian Battleship, because we're going to play that tomorrow afternoon. I know that has nothing to do with goats. Well, it could. I mean, you put a dinghy, a couple of inner tubes on a goat, and we might be able to make that float. Lance says, good afternoon, everyone. Oh, and Prairie said, good afternoon, happy Sunday, community. Scott says, she ran calling wildfire. Good Sunday afternoon to one and all. Bismarcky says, happy Sunday, all. Donald must watch the show. Nothing would surprise me. Other than, I'm sure by now I would have said at least one thing to annoy him, and there'd be a truth social about it. Because he has to rant. Lisa is in the house with a hi, everyone. You can't make this stuff up. I know. You really, 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 really can't. Scott, there were some YMCA kids from Minnesota camping north of the border and got surrounded by the fires. Canadian rescuers got them out. Trump might want to shut his mouth. Yeah. I mean, when there's a major fire in the U.S., Canada is the first. We're usually the first to be sending help in to whether it be bombers, firefighters. Trump needs to remember this. And if I remember correctly, I think I have a feel. Didn't one of our bombers go down in the California one? I think it was a Quebec. Was it a Quebec bomber, or was it just? I think it might have just been a Quebec person who was flying it, but they were okay. Bismarcky says, I think smoke is covered under Kuzma. There we go. Yeah. Well, it is 100% Canadian made. So, that might fall under Kuzma. Paul is in the house with a good afternoon. Hey, Paul. I guess you're not working. I guess you're not working today. That's fantastic. Scott says Americans whining about the smoke would be calling the cops to complain about the smoke from the neighbor's house being on fire. Yeah. Vitsky says, remember when Mount St. Helens was burping ash all over Western Canada? Yeah. Did we ever send them the bill for that? I wonder if I don't think we did. Let's do that. Or if Yellowstone were to go, well, we got bigger problems if that happens than tariffing the states for the volcanic ash. Paul, Trump keeps saying Canada will pay his tariffs, but he doesn't realize his U.S. citizen consumers will pay that tariff. That is it. Yeah. I mean, sure, we may lose a little bit because obviously if prices get too high, people won't buy. If they don't buy, we can't export as much. Yeah, absolutely. It hurts us, but not in the way he implies. So what can I say? Oh, good. Let's see. Talking about empty threats, has anything happened with Spain and tariffs? He was real mad at them a few weeks ago. He was, and I haven't heard anything since then. Paul is praying for a 70K Bitcoin. I've not looked at Bitcoin since yesterday. Let's take a look. Let's take a quick gander here. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, we're still holding. We're still holding in our holding pattern. You need a breakout. I saw this yesterday. And I was like, ooh, I thought we might break out, but we didn't. We're back in again. Now, mind you, Paul, I'm wishing for the opposite. I want us to come back down and test the bottom of this because I'm doing a step trade right now on MSTE. So I currently sold and now I need to buy it back down. Well, when Bitcoin's down here, MSTE will be down. And that's what I'm waiting for right now. So I'm kind of hoping it goes down. I will say this. I am expecting when we start getting the oil trading again this afternoon, in about an hour and 45 minutes, I'm thinking it's going to be green. A couple of Americans were killed in Jordan from this, I don't know if it was a missile from Iran or a drone attack, but so the U.S. is pretty mad. They're pretty mad. So it's kind of a little bit of an escalation. So we'll see. We'll see. It's got lots of time until then. Paul, Canada has sent $26 billion to Ukraine. Canada needs to stop sending money to Ukraine and spend it on forestry management. We'll just, we'll hire. That's what we'll do. We'll bring in a whole bunch of temporary foreign workers. Let's increase that. And we'll just send them out with rakes into the woods. We'll have to bring in a lot because we got a whole lot of woods, but let's do it. Why not? The water bomber didn't go down, but it got damaged by some idiot flying a drone. It was out of commission for a couple of days, and more damage was caused by the fires. Yeah, okay, there we go. 85 likely. 85 what, Larry? Wait, 85 for the price of oil. That's what you're thinking. So right now it's sitting at $82.74. So you're thinking 85. I got it. I had to think for a second. Let's see. Lisa says the vast majority of the forest fires in Ontario are in remote and mostly uninhabited areas. No roads, so no way to get in there unless you want to take a 2-hour helicopter ride. No need for firefighters. Yeah, it's kind of the thing. We haven't actually looked yet today. Let's take a gander at the smoke situations. It's actually raining here today. So it's been kind of nice. I haven't really felt a lot from the smoke, but let's head into, all right. Here we go. So yeah, right now we're doing pretty good. Oh, actually, look at this. It's only very mild for you right today, Lisa. So where is the bad? Oh, a lot of the bad smoke is actually up north. So yeah, it's not that bad. Now let me just take a look though, because things can change. Oh, okay. All right, so it looks like, yeah, it's not that bad. Oh, look at this. Look at these fires down here in the northeast of the United States. That smoke right there, it's peaking up above the border into Canada. We got to tariff them, guys. We got to tariff them. Look at that. Look at that. Look, watch that smoke there. Yeah, see it? It's moving around. It's flowing a little bit into Canada right here. Oh, no. International crises. Ian says, when will SpaceX start trading again? Same time as oil or wait until Monday? We'll have the markets will open tomorrow morning. I don't know the exact time. Paul probably does. I don't know. Is it 3 or 4 hours or something like that pre-market? But yeah, SpaceX will start trading tomorrow morning. Let's see. Fires are nature's. And here we go. Larry says a barrel. Yeah. Candace, the meaning whisperer. The meaning? Okay. Let's see. I don't think people understand the forest area in Ontario is like the size of 1.5 Texas. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, most of Canada is on this. Most of our population is on the border. In fact, there's more Canadians south than of most of these northern states than their populations, and it's kind of crazy because right in this little area in here, this little wedge, that's where a huge chunk of our population exists. Shorts 35, 30 now, 27, hopefully 23 now. Okay. Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. Let's see here. Ian says Canada has such large forests. I don't know if any amount of money could keep this from happening. I don't think so. And I mean, you can argue that if anything, I mean, look at this. This tells us right now, this is telling me something. Look at this. Yes, we got an unusual amount of fires across here, but look at this. There's fires as well over here in Alaska. There's a lot of fires pretty much down this entire side of the United States. And, these are just the big ones. So what if we had a reasonable administration who's willing to work with us? We should almost have like a North American fire forest, sort of like I don't know, call them a forest fire unit. Imagine if we pooled resources to fight fires, because here's the reality. These fires, yeah, that smoke comes down and makes things rough down here. So let's, pool our resources. Be friends. Let's help each other. Let's get the job done. When California's on fire, let's put it out. When Ontario's on fire, let's put it out. Simple as that. It's not a hard concept. All right. And guys, we have Mary in the house, and Mary, of course, is our official captain of the like button. So if you've not yet hit that like button, definitely do that. Definitely do that. It sort of helps the algorithm send it out. And of course, we got a smaller group in here today. It must be a nice day. It must be a nice day. Well, if it's a sunny Sunday, I'd say half of you who are normal here are probably at the beach. If you're not in fire area. Well, actually, most of us is looking pretty good. Most of us is looking pretty good, so not too shabby. Anyway, guys, I'll take a look. I'm kind of curious to know how many likes we do have. I think 50 is probably unrealistic. We'll get 50. Like, a lot of people will watch this on the replay, and we'll get to 50 then for sure. We're at 18. You know what? For now, let's just try to get to 30. I'd be happy with 30 today. All right. Lisa says, sorry, fires are forest's way of replenishing itself. We've all been brainwashed. Smokey the Bear started it all. Fires are a natural part. Like, before there were people in North America, guess what happened? Lightning, fires, old fire, the older part of the forest burns down. That releases, it does release crap into the air, but it also releases a lot of nutrients. And that area can become very, very, very well, and you can get some really good new growth into it. Doesn't take long for the forest to get reclaimed after this, but it is absolutely normal. Obviously, what the ones that we are most concerned about is when you do have it, near a community. And even then, if you choose to build a small town in the middle of a forest, you want to be taking some precautions. Fire breaks, not a bad idea. A good evacuation route, also not a bad idea, because it doesn't matter. You could build a really great really great fire break. All it takes is the bad luck of like hurricane force winds and a forest fire. Not many fire breaks are going to stop that. Let's see here. All right, Larry says, however, CENTCOM bombing was supposed to stop tomorrow. Afternoon, looking at NASA fire situation over the globe. Fires are everywhere, not just Canada. Yeah, absolutely. Like, we're looking at North America. I wonder, actually, you know what? Oh, no, it's not. I was going to say, can we see fires like in Spain? Oh, no, but we can actually, this is kind of cool. I like the map. But no, we're not getting to see fires. Otherwise, well, we'd see a lot of fires in Ukraine down here. But then those wouldn't be forest fires. Those would be Russia fires. So, all right, interesting. Okay, Weather Network. Weather Network. Ooh, is there any fires in Antarctica? No, kidding. Give us better. Give us better. 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Trump canceled a BB meeting. Oh, okay. I was not aware of that. Lisa said if it wasn't for forest fires, jack pines would become extinct. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, we do need forest fires. We need, and I hate to say it, yeah, we do need a certain number of them. They are increasing though. They are increasing, and we still need to protect communities and things like that to the best of our ability. But yeah, especially the ones out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, they're not a super concern. Yeah, the smoke sucks, and it really sucks if you are if you are susceptible. Like if you have a heart condition, things like that, or lung conditions, they can be hard. Now, it's actually interesting. I saw an article on the CBC, and you guys remember those masks from the pandemic? Well, they're starting to sell pretty big now. People are buying them for the smoke. I will tell you, though, the cheap masks, which were fine for the pandemic, aren't going to really help you much for the smoke. You're gonna want, if you're having trouble with smoke and you want to wear a mask, you want one of them N95s. You want one of the good masks, because they're woven small enough that they can catch the particulate matter before you inhale it. Paul says, I worked Saturday. By 7 p.m. my time, I had enough of customers for the day. End of shift was 8 p.m. Today, woke up at 8 a.m., but went back to bed. By the time I went down to make my breakfast, it was noon. Fun. Yeah. Sometimes sometimes customers, I mean, you have to love customers. I mean, you have to still present a really good level of customer service for them. But, after a long day, you get that person coming up asking you, can you show me where the number 4 screw is again? It's like, oh, come on. I've already shown you where the number 4 screw is the last time you were in. Yeah, it happens. It happens. But you know what? I always say, put on your happy face. Even if you're tired, it's just another hour. You can get through it. You can get through it. And I actually find anytime I'm working with the public, I find that if I'm being happy and pleasant and helpful, my time goes by a lot faster. I mean, if I were to sit there and just go, oh my God, these people keep asking me the same thing over and over again. Well, I'm not gonna have a good time. And if I'm not having a good time, that shift, whatever it is, it's gonna drag. It's gonna drag way out. So, just, be happy. Help people out. Always help. Always help. Be a helper. Scott says, censor ruined my joke. Oh no, YouTube. That would have been YouTube. All right. Lisa says, oh, I can think of at least one bird species off the top of my head that just about went extinct, and one reason is because of allowing forests to burn became not politically correct. Okay, I don't know. What bird species is that? I'm kind of curious. Prairie says, an example of bad forest management dictated by our government. We only need to look to what happened to Jasper recently. Okay, fair enough. But that's, once again, that's taking care of a town, right? If you have a town and you're completely surrounded by forest, you want to, bare minimum, you want to have some fire breaks. You might even want to do some prescribed burning to make sure stuff like that doesn't happen. Rory's pointing out that, yeah, I'm still annoyed about the Jasper Park fires. The government was warned 2 years before it started. Yeah, you try it. And keep in mind, even though, if the government had stepped in with the Jasper and done as much as they could, it may not have stopped it, but it may have, or it may have at least made it better. So, you have to take a lot of things like that into consideration. Yeah, if it's a habit, like I said, if your town's in the forest, take the precautions that you need to take. Don't just sort of say it'll never happen here. A lot of people have said that, and now they aren't saying it because they live in another place because their place is gone. Lisa says, the bird I am thinking of relies on young Jake pines, and the heat from fires is what is required for the pine cones to release their seeds. Oh, wow. That's kind of interesting. Let's see. Obviously, habitated areas need to be protected, but most of these fires are in no man's land. Yeah, exactly. Paul says, woman customer asks, can you teach me about washer was the final straw? Washer. What can you teach about a washer? Or are you talking about like a washing machine? Did she want you to show her how it works? Habituated. Yeah, I gotcha. Paul, have you seen the video horror game Night of the Consumers? Is that actually a game? That's hilarious. Washers like the round things on bolts, or washers like the things you put clothes in? Scott, I'm thinking it's the type you put clothes in. That's what. Well, then again, Paul's working in a hardware store, so it's probably actually the first one. Like, can you teach me how to properly put a washer on a bolt? Does it go on the screw head side, or does it go on the nut side? There's decisions to be made there. Look up the Kirkland's Warbler. Okay, let's do it. Guys, it is time for another edition of, there we go, we want to go here. Candace, Google stuff. Let's pull up Google. All right, so it's Kirkland's Warbler. Oh, here it is, right here. Kirkland's Warbler. Oh, look at this. That's a cute little bird. Let's go to the images first. Look at this. This is a nice little bird. Little yellow bird. See if I can get a big image here. Yeah, here we go. This little guy. Look at this. Very cool. Larry says, molters. Washers like the round things with holes. Right, okay, yeah. Yeah, we kind of figured that out. We ruled out the other one. All right, it's Jack Pine. Sorry, Jack Tripper Pine. No. Trees. I don't even have to tell you that you're getting the laughing goat for that. Oh, Scott, that was brilliant. That was when you are on. You are really on. That was great. Oh my gosh. Oh, I gotta move to Michael because I'm gonna keep laughing at that. That was so good. Oh, Michael says, hello, Candace. Any thoughts on what is fueling Mullen's recent strength, such as the news of the data center in Alberta and pipeline plans? Maybe. I mean, that makes sense to me. I haven't heard anything outside of that, but let's very quickly pull it up here. And I always like just coming in here, checking out the news and see if we got anything in here that's interesting. So yeah, there's really been nothing here, at least press releases, but we'll go to, you want to go to in the media too, because sometimes, if it may not be a press release, but there might be something. Let's see here. House splitting 30,000 across. Oh God, that's Motley Fool. Okay. Uh, Pretty much it's like, all right, we don't have reliable sources right now. So right now, yeah, I don't have an answer. That sounds plausible though, Michael. All right, Rory, let's see. The Kirkland's Warbler is available at Costco. Lisa says, I saw one for the first time at Point Pele this year. There are very few of them in the world. How many, what is there? You know what? Here, we went to the picture. Let's go to the actual facts. We can leave the picture up and we can come back this way and we'll go to the facts. I'm going to put down bird facts. There we go. Let's see if we can get, we want to go all. We don't got to go. All right. Identification, species profile. All right, let's go to the species profile. Let's take a look here. Look, that's actually a cuter picture. I think that one's even cuter. Breeding, overwintering, migration. All right, do we have anything? I kind of wanted a quick, easy to read fact sheet. You know what? Let's actually, we'll let AI do it. Why not? Okay, here we go. All right, okay, here we go. Their habitat requirements. This is exactly what we were looking for. Jack pine dependent, breeds almost exclusively in young jack pine forests, right there. And look at this, young. What does that mean? That means that we need the fires, right? Age constraints, trees must be between 5 to 20 years old. Pines must be 5 to 15 feet tall. Jack pine cones require intense heat from forest fires to open and release seeds. I swear, this is almost coming word for word out of Lisa's mouth. That's kind of cool. Also requires sandy soil with low, sweeping branches and grassy clearings for nesting. Birds leave the trees when the trees grow tall and lower branches die. Okay, all right, there we go. That's pretty cool. And Rory says Janet Wood. It's Kirkland's, not Kirkland. Oh. Was I? Okay. Well, yeah, Kirkland's with an S. All right, yeah, there we go. I got it. Kevin Cass says, good one, Scott. It was a really good one. Mr. Furley. That's almost there, Rory. Like, it made me, you know how when you have a sour candy and you get that little pucker? That one gave me a laugh pucker. That's how close it, you know what, Rory? I'm feeling generous today. Rory, you get the laughing goat. There we go. Laughing goats for everyone. Yeah, that was really funny. Mr. Furley. Now I'm thinking about Trees Company again. Uh, how would the theme go? Come and knock on our pine. Oh gosh. Let's see. There's only about 4 to 5,000 in the world. That's not a lot. That's not a lot. So hopefully, well, this year might be good for them then, with all these fires. Paul says, person that does the paint, caulking, drywall, mud cleaning supplies, lawn care, barbecues, lawn houses, past shelves, has to do the customer service for appliances. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Paul, your comment almost reminded me of a hardware store. I don't know if you've ever heard it. It's a Weird Al song, where he goes on this big long rant of naming everything in the store. I was just like, it felt like that for a moment. Rory says, Paul, you are a regular Hank Hill. Tastes like chicken. I like chicken. Let's see. I do hardware, plumbing, electrical. No Kirtlands with a T, not a K. Oh, Kurt. All right. Yeah. All right. Kirtlands. What have I got? Oh my God. And I have it with a K, don't I? Okay. I blame Star Trek. Oh, Rory, propane is where it's at. I tell you what. A good old propane. What can we say? Holy cow. All right. Lisa says, sorry, everyone. Once I start talking birds, it's hard for me to stop. Back to the regularly scheduled program. Well, it's actually funny that you said that, Lisa. So tomorrow I'm filming, I'm filming the next video, but I have a bank video coming out. And now, since I've made that video, bank has increased their dividend. So I'm actually thinking, I've never done this before. You know how you come in, you say like, Editor Candace here. Hey, since this happened, we blah blah blah. We got a dividend increase, something like that. Anyway, I'll film a little tiny piece like that I'm gonna add. I can still add it to it. So I'm like, so I'll get to interrupt the regularly scheduled video, and I should almost do it in that way. Back to the regularly scheduled video. Ooh, I like that. Maybe I'll go that route. Rory says word. Scott says talking birds like parrots. Well, guys, one thing that we are going to do here today as well, let me head into Canva. All right, where is, oh, that's because everything hasn't loaded yet. All right, load up Canva, load up. Load everything. I'm trying to find my, my battleship. I'm trying to find my battleship here. Ian says, wait, bank raised their dividend again? Yes, they just announced it on Friday. So, yeah, up to 15.2. So from 13.2 to 15.2. There we go. All right. Okay. I think I see here. All right. Here it is. All right. So we'll actually be filling up this part over here. And, I suppose, oh boy, I've been negligent. Let's just pull some of these off. You know what? I almost should keep some of these in case in case you guys pick one of these. I don't know if you will or not. But anyway, we will be doing this here in, I'm going to pull this down. Like, you know what? Quite literally, guys, just let me pull these off and we can start. I mean, there's no point in waiting. All right. We'll get ourselves over here. So this is our game board. So these guesses, we're going to make these guesses, and these will all be shots. So that will basically, tomorrow at market close on the Monday show, we're going to play Canadian Battleship. So there will be on the board, our battleship board, there's going to be different size ships hidden, and you guys have to. It's just like Battleship. I'm hoping you've all played Battleship at one time or another. I mean, guys, just because I saved these ones, you don't have to pick these ones. You can pick whatever you want. I'm quite literally okay with that. But yeah, here's the game board. All right. So there's going to be ships that are hidden in here. When you guys get the board tomorrow, it's all going to be these question marks. And underneath the question marks will be, like I'll have, there will be ships. I'll put the ships in. And then you guys will guess. And if you sink all the ships, you bank a free show. So, that's kind of like right now we've got one show banked already. So that's for Monday. That's Monday's show. I mean, today, if we do, by the way, guys, if we do, like on a day like today where there's, the Financial Express really isn't running, but if we still do 4 supers or 4 gifted subs today, that would change. That one would change into a 2. Just saying. So it is, it's a thing. And it's actually funny because, technically we could win a 1 tomorrow as well. Anyway, I don't know. Right now the record is 1. It's never been to a 2. So I'll just put that out there. All right, let's see here. Scott says birds are weird, but that's what makes them great. Well, and they're also dinosaurs, right? Because birds, that's what happened to the dinosaurs. Well, some lines of dinosaurs died off, but a lot of the more avian ones became birds. Rory says a pecking bird could pick a stock to trade better than I can. Ooh, that's what we need is we'll get a list of stocks and we'll get one of those water drinking birds. And yeah, that'd be kind of funny. Yay, bank is my biggest holdings. Yeah. No, I'm impressed. I was happy. It was funny because when you guys told me about it initially I thought you were asking if it was going to go up. And I actually said no. I didn't think it was because they had only just recently, changed it to 13.2 from 12. So I wasn't expecting it. That one caught me a little off guard. And 60 went up as well. So both bank and 60. Scott, that would be a picking bird. Yeah, Roy says 62. Yeah, exactly. Scott, there was a Battleship movie with Rihanna. It was terrible. I never saw it. Now I guess I'm glad that I didn't. There should be Trump head mines on the game board like a whammy. No, we have whammies. Are you saying they should be Donald Trump heads? Because I'll tell you, we had, so last Tuesday night, we had the after hours. And that's normally when we change our whammies. And you know what? Nobody, nobody, there wasn't very many people that showed up. And that was fine. I'm like, you know what? It happens. It's the summer. I expect lower volumes on, probably, I'd say at least until the beginning of September. So, yeah, so right now we currently have the same ones. But would you guys rather just have Trump heads? Have 1 instead of 5. Just have a Trump head and put Trump heads there. I mean, we could do that. I don't know. It's up to it's a dumb idea, but it sounds kind of funny. I'm just saying. Ian says 2 cents a month dividend increase is huge. I'm doing the math now. Yeah, no, it's a big increase. It is definitely a big increase. Rory says each head says you're fired. Yep, or you're tariffed. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Holy cow. No, I might have to do it. Please no, we don't need to see his face more. All right, fair enough. All right, you know what? I'll stick with these. Because I told the channel members, it's up to them. So the channel members, before each of these, they have a chance to change them. They didn't change them, so we'll leave them as is. Next time around, we'll see if they want to change them. Maybe they don't. Maybe they like these. I found out something today about Newfoundland that I was totally unaware of. Did you guys know that Newfoundland has no skunks, no snakes, and no raccoons? And I was like, what? Really? And so apparently Yeah, there's, and we're not talking the Labrador part. That one has everything. But the one in the water, the rock. So what can I say? Rory says, haha, I wasn't serious. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, well, no, we're gonna stick to these ones. I might change. I haven't decided yet. So these are our ships here. Like we got a rowboat, a beaver, a canoe, and our lumberjack guy on a log. He's tired because he did the lumberjack jig thing. You guys remember that one that had the singing lumber guy on the log? But yeah, so that's him, but he's tired. Somebody says that we should throw in a submarine, so I might throw that in. I got to put these. I'll put these together tomorrow afternoon before the stream. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Now, I do want to head back over here for a second. All right, I just wanted to see what Bitcoin is currently doing. So Bitcoin right now down 0.53. Now, I'm just going to pull this in a little bit here. So the interesting thing with Bitcoin is, as you guys can see, it's been moving. Here's a funny thing. It was sort of sticking to this channel right here, but you know what? Here's the thing. This channel, I wonder, because now that I'm looking, and I'm looking at the fact that we have more points, we could technically, could we marry these? Could we, we kind of might be able to. Like if we, let's do this. All right, I'm going to get rid of this one right now. All right, so yeah, because this kind of makes a bit more sense. Now, if that's the case, I'll straighten this out a little bit. But yeah, this could be the channel. But it also seems like we have a point of resistance in the middle. So it's kind of like, what is this going to do? Like what I'm hoping right now, I'm going to put in my little draw. Let's get my drawer. The brush, I got it. What I'm hoping is I'm kind of hoping for this, just because then I could make some quick moves. That's what I'm hoping for. But there is the potential that we could even get, I'm going to use a dotted line. Oops, we could get something like that. Now, obviously, that would be a bigger move. But I think more realistically, we might see this. We might see the W. We might see that W opposed to the bigger V. But anyway, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'll be watching. Obviously, I want this to happen. I don't want to say I need it to happen. Sure, I do need it to happen, but I want it to happen. All right. Scott says, Nursey snake dens. Google it if you dare. No. Sometimes there's words I can look at them and I can say no. I know 100% to say no. You didn't even have to say if you dare. I'm just saying no. Steven says, ironically, that Jasper is mostly American owned. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Well, not in a funny way, but you know what I mean. Wasn't there a cartoon bear called Jasper? Am I just imagining things? I don't know, but we have Google. Let's find out. Hello, Google. Where is? Oh, it's because I'm in AI mode. Let's get out of AI mode. Was there an animated bear named Jasper? Yes, Jasper the bear. A very famous Canadian cartoon character. Okay, I do not know who Jasper the bear is. Let me see if we get a picture here. Oh gosh. Hello, AI mode. There we go. Let's go to images. See if we can get an image of Jasper the bear. Oh, here we go. So here's Jasper the bear, kind of yeah, Jasper the bear. Okay, so a Canadian icon. All right, so yeah, there was a Jasper the bear. These pictures are not the best. Well, here's somebody in a Jasper the bear costume. Oh, and here's some, here's a Captain Canuck thing. But that's not what, okay. Okay, here's the guy with Jasper the Bear, I guess. All right, so yeah, there was Jasper the Bear. Let's see, Narcisse is here in Manitoba, north of Winnipeg. I saw that Jasper Bear as a kid even. I've never heard of Jasper the Bear. Now I wonder if it was right across Canada or if it was more western perhaps. Roy says, I remember watching the old black and white striped CN passenger train stopping in town way back when. Jasper the Bear is also Jasper's mascot. Oh, okay. There we go. I was completely unaware of Jasper the Bear. I knew of Yogi and Smokey. That was it. And I don't think, did they ever do a crossover? Who knows? But Jasper the Bear, interesting. I'm trying to think of there's probably other Canadian mascots out there that I'm totally unaware of. I think of Canadian mascots, I think, usually House Hippos pops into my head immediately, but that's another story. That's another story for sure. Holy cow. All right. All right, let's head. So we're going to be watching oil here momentarily. Look at this, Rick. Look at this. I came in and I'm just looking at, wait a minute. Yeah, that is W. Whoops. All right, let's do that. All right. And we'll get out of there. As long as I'm not making, yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, there we go. Yeah, look at that. But look at the move. That's, all right. Oh, well, now we're taking a look. Yeah, so here is, I guess this is the worst part, back 117. Yikes. Can you guys remember that? 117. It wasn't that long ago. But this is going to start climbing again. I have a feel, I'm trying to, guys, where do you think? I'm kind of curious. Where do we think oil's going to open at? I'm just going to put in a line here. This is not where I think, guys. I just want the line in here, and we're going to, wait a minute. Yeah. I was going to say, wait a minute. Where are we? We are here. Okay. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Oh, here we go. All right. My lines is a little big. It doesn't need to be this big. Let's pull it in a little bit. There we go. All right. I'm going to put my gas here. And I still kind of want this to be bigger. There we go. All right. Let's bring it in. All right. Where do I think, where's it going to gap to? I'm going to say Larry's saying 85. So Larry said 85. You know what? I'm going to go 84. I'm going to go 84. And let's straighten this load. There we go. All right. So this is my prediction for a little bit later. So we'll revisit this, of course. And this is WTI, so West Texas Intermediate. Brent will obviously move as well. We're not going to guess on Brent. Brent, I would be thinking, I'd probably be thinking about 90 on Brent. All right, so let's see here. Scott says, I've not been west of Thunder Bay in Canada. Airport transfers don't count. Oh, okay. Scott, the transfer from prairie land to mountains is astounding west of Calgary. I got to do it one day. Road trip west. U.S. crude is at 83.53 right now on the CFDs. Okay, well that's kind of tying into my guess. That's not too shabby scratch. Let's see if it happens. Hey ho, boo boo. Is that a picnic basket? Yeah, little boo boo. That's an Art Carney imitation. Not to keep bringing up bank, but when I started buying it, it had a div of 10 cents. That was not that long ago. Hope the div is sustainable. How can I find the payout ratio? It's an ETF. They don't have payout ratios. So that's your simple answer. You can't find it. Now, some funds, like if it's for example, like a split core, you would be able to get a payout ratio. Or if it's like an income fund like Canoe, you would get a payout ratio. But with an ETF, no. The only thing that you can really, I guess the only thing you can really look at is, what's the change in NAV as long as that's positive. I would also look at, you could look at the underlying assets, but even then, I mean, they're fine. They're the banks. They're going to pay out. I will say this, Evolve is very good about one thing. They like to, when it comes to the distribution, they don't set it for the current market per se. They try to sort of look and gauge where the market could go, worst case scenario, and they try to have a distribution that they can still sustain even if it went into a worst case scenario. So that shows that they've got a lot, that they're doing really, really well with bank, also with 60. So I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be fine. Rory says Rocky and Bullwinkle. Well, yeah. Well, it's funny. Like, weren't they actually American? I mean, per se, but nonetheless, I mean, you couldn't be anything more Canadian. Ian says, I used to love Yogi Bear when I was a kid. A yield of less than 12% for banks still fits in my tolerance limits. Yeah. Jasmy thoughts. Jasmy. I don't know what that is, but let's take a look. I think. Jasmy. Oh, it's crypto. All right. Let's see. US. Okay. Tether US. Jasmy. Interesting. All right. I will say right now, I have no thoughts on it. I quite literally never heard of it before a second ago. Interesting. Yeah, I would need to sort of look into Jasmy before I could even remotely give you any kind of an idea on what I think about it. Because right now, I know absolutely nothing about it. Like, I know nothing at all. I can look at this and I can say, okay, they're at least, they're at least above where they entered. So, but yeah, I don't know anything about it. Ian says, I guess the payout ratio would be a bit wild if you did the math because of the cover calls and leverage. But there's a different thing. So you got to look at a couple of things though. So when you look at that when you look at the payout, so the distribution that bank has, a big chunk of that distribution is dividends. So all of the dividends that they're receiving, they're passing those on to you. So, the dividends from all the different banks. And they're all pretty healthy. So they're all pretty healthy right there. So that part there you are getting. And then, of course, you're getting the premiums and things like that. So as long as the volatility stays there, as long as people are still willing to buy options on the banks, then, that becomes pretty darn stable. So, I don't think we're in a situation like, if we were, actually, this is how you could tell. If we were in a situation that they were paying out more than they were bringing in, well, that would reflect in the NAV. You would see you would see NAV erosion. You would actually see that NAV shrinking a little bit because the money has to be accounted. It's kind of like if you look at physics, one of the big rules with energy is that or matter is that you can't, you can convert it back and forth, but you can't destroy it or get rid of it. And it's the same idea with money. You can't just make money disappear. It has to go somewhere. So even if you can, like people like to joke, like, I'm going to be a magician because look at my account. I just made a whole bunch of my money disappear. Well, that money disappeared into somebody else's account. So for every winner, there's always a loser. There's a yin to every yang. And it goes that way as well with covered call funds. All of that money, it's not, you're not magically creating money. It's coming out of somebody else's pocket. So it's, everything's a give and take, and it will always, you can always add everything up right down to the penny if you have all the data. Obviously, we don't have the data. We don't know how much, we don't know how much that option was. We don't know their exact strike price. So, there's a lot of data we don't have. Scott says my average cost on bank is $8.16 per share. Ooh, that's not bad. Lance says it's listed in USD, but I found another good ETF to get into, Aqua. It's very similar to CWW. Aqua. Let's take a look at this one. I kind of like the name a little bit. So Global X Clean Water ETF. Oh, that name works really well with this one. And yeah, it is a US ETF. It's not a big distribution, and it is semi-annual, so you're not getting a lot. So, but that's fine. But clean water is going to become more and more important as we move forward. And Canada technically could be a water superpower. We hold a lot of fresh water. Right now it's kind of volatile, but I do think long term it probably will do a lot better. Okay, let's see. Now I don't have to do options on my own and take all the risk. Just let Hamilton or Harvest do it. Yeah, exactly. My current bank holdings is 40,000 plus. I sold all my BNS holdings for bank. Nice. Rosie. Hi, Rosie. Hello, Candace. Is there an XRP or blockchain ETF that has a lower MER? And you're thinking XRP. Now, I think if you're looking at just a spot XRP, like here, let's take a quick look at. I have way too many windows open here now. What is this? Oh, Discord. Oh, by the way, guys, I installed something called Sapphire into the Discord. So Sapphire is supposed to be able to take care of those posts that we've been getting from the spammers. The ones that start off with, "Hey everyone, come check this out over on the Discord." Or over on the whatever, the Telegram or what, anyway, I'm going to see. So far, since I put it on, I haven't seen any. Actually, here's Sapphire right here. So I haven't seen anything yet. So we're going to see. I wonder if it'll give me a report and tell me if it, oh, well, wait a minute. I got a few, okay, we got a few things in here. Let's just double check and make sure we didn't get anything in there. All right, no, this is Leon. Guys, by the way, if you guys have a YouTube channel or you want to promote somebody else's YouTube channel, like finance related, well, if you have a YouTube channel and it's not finance related, you can put it over there as well. I don't care. But this is the perfect place for it, over on the self-promotion. All right, international. Oh, no. This guy. Or did I miss this one? Because this isn't saying, okay, no, this was from before. I went through yesterday and I think I just missed this guy. Let me just delete him quickly. Goodbye. All right. Yeah, I missed him and I probably, did I miss? Nope. Candace is going to miss the bell today. Not on Sunday. All right, let's see here. All right, now that's a little bit from Larry. All right, and that's all normal stuff. Okay, so yeah, since I've put it up, we haven't had a new one. So, all right, I was just that one that I missed, but all right, we'll see what happens. Lance can split investments between Aqua and Fina. Aquafina. Oh boy, not the Barbie girl Aqua. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. I just bought some bank on the 9th to round up my divs to even numbers. Now I might do it again. Kind of silly way to manage a portfolio. Scratch says, just don't do prime drink. Small investors got wrecked with a fresh water play. And Rory says, my limit orders have to be in even sets of 100 odd lots I can get at the market. Okay, there we go. 22-hour and 55-minute warning for the bell. I'm ready. I'll put my hand on the bell. No, I'm not going to do that. But there we go. 22-hour, 55 minutes. I think I got it. All right, guys. Do you guys want to start filling out our board? All right, let's see here. Whoops. Oh, that's the 2. Couldn't save your design. What? Wait a minute. Do I have, uh-oh. Or do I have it, oh, that's because I have a second one open. All right, perfect. Okay. So this is where we're going to take our guesses. We'll start right now, guys. So the way it works, pick a stock, an ETF, either or. You tell me if it's going up or down tomorrow. If we get it right when we check at market close, we get an extra shot in Canadian Battleship. So, and so I was taking, like, normally I start you guys off with 15 shots, and then you guys can win up to 25, but you can also lose 5 because these things will lose you a shot. But yeah, we're gonna take a look. We're gonna take a look. All right. First up is bank. All right. I'm just gonna. You know what? Let's. What do you mean? You couldn't save my Oh my gosh. All right. Give me a second. I have to reload it. Okay. Good. Good. All right. We're good. I was gonna say. All right. Let's. All right. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right. So we're gonna do bank up. And here, let me change this to bank. Okay. Bank up. All right, we got our first guess is in. Awesome. All right, Prairie says WCN up. All right. All right, well, I'm going to grab this one. I'm just going to change it to WCN. All right, WCN. All right, and we got an up on this. So far, you guys are thinking things are going to do pretty good. ZDV. So Leonard says ZDV up. All right, we'll grab this one here. ZDV. Okay. You guys are seeing the market as a little bit better than I'm seeing it right now. But all right, ZDV. Oh, this one I think is a given. ENCL up. All right. Well, we're gonna grab this one here. All right, let's change this to ENCL. There we go. And we'll give it an up. All right. ENCL. Ian says WCP up. All right. Let's grab this one here. WCP up. Okay. I'm seeing a trend. If we have a red day, we could be in trouble. Rory. Well, okay. Rory's saying HYLD down. All right. Let's do this. All right. Holy cow, you guys are moving along pretty good. HYLD, and we'll put in our down button. And guys, you can ask questions in the middle of this. Like, we'll, it's perfectly fine. Redwater, I with copper would go up so I can sell my veil. I wish copper would go up so I can sell my veil. I hear you. All right. Prairie says CNR up. All right, let's grab this one. CNR. All right, and we got an up. All right, let's put an up in here. Okay. Oops, almost jumped over. Astro says Utes up. All right. All right, Utes. And that is an up. There we go. Utes is up. All right, Stella Jones up. All right, let's grab this, and boy. All right, Stella Jones, and that's going to be an up. Okay. All right, Roy says HHLE down. All right, let's grab HHLE. Whoops, I got a little colon in there. All right, and down. Whew, there's our first two. Our first two rows are done. A red water says sold my cap and bought HHIS. Ah, nice. Yeah, no, I mean, I've been a fan of HHIS. So I'm liking it. I'm actually kind of liking. I was thinking of Biggie at the same time. I like the fact that they've reorganized Biggie. So Biggie, they've got a lot more in it now. We were looking at that the other day, and I'm hoping this is the change that gets Biggie producing. Now we just got to get Inti doing, and that would help out easy if Inti, Biggie, and Canny are all working in the right direction. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. All right. All right. Rory says XEQT down. All right. Let's grab this one here. All right. All right. XEQT. And you're saying down. Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. So we got XEQT down. All right, guys. We still need 14 more. We need another 14. Rory says, I'm a negative Nelly. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing. Hey, somebody has to be down. We'll see. In a way, if half of them are up and half of them are down, and that's the way you guys voted, that could be huge. That could be huge. All right. And we got Redwater coming in with a $20 super sticker. Well, thank you very much, Redwater. Very generous of you. And that, is there a particular goat you wanted to see, Red? I'll drop the Monopoly goat. If you wanted a different one, let me know. Certainly take care of that. So there we go. I love our goats. All right. Perfect. Yeah, thank you very much. Scott says, I expect chips will bounce. Overcorrected on the down. Okay. That's a possibility. That is a possibility. A scratch. I just love saying scratch. MU down. Oh, that's a really interesting pick. And it might be a really smart one, too. All right. MU. Oh, I need more red. MU down. I'm going to put a couple red over here. There we go. There we go. I got a couple of those over there. Redwater says you are welcome. Oh, well, thank you again. Thank you again. Rory, I just ate a bag of chips. What's your weirdest flavor of chips you've ever eaten? I will tell you, there's a company, I think they're out of New Brunswick, called Covered Bridge. They made lobster chips. And when you open them, you could smell the hint of lobster. But when you tasted them, they weren't impressive. I couldn't really taste the lobster. So that, for me, was my most disappointing bag of chips. Astro says, I hope the SpaceX launches tomorrow night. Could be a good day for SXHI on Tuesday. Easy down. Absolutely. Now, are you, Astro, are you saying that SpaceX is going down? Should I put that in? Let me know. Rory says MSTE down, of course. I'm hoping you're right. I'm really hoping you're right on this one. MSTE down. Here we go. We got MSTE in here on the downside. A GWO down. Okay, I'll leave SpaceX there. A GWO. All right, and that is a down as well. I'm going to need more of these. There we go. Put a few more. Silicon content is covered for the week, Rory. 'Tis indeed. Ian said, I had seaweed flavored chips in Thailand. I saved the bag. Looks like Martian writing on the bag. I'm going to say this right now, though, Ian. I bet they were good. I mean, I love the seaweed snacks that you can get. And I'm just imagining that on a chip, and I'm like, that's kind of, all right. Astro, I'm confused. Here, let me explain why. I asked about SpaceX, and then you came back with easy down. So now, does that mean an easy down for SpaceX? Or are you predicting that the ETF easy is down? You see where I'm confused? Let me know which one. I'm going to leave this one blank. This is your blank right here, Astro. It's yours. You own this middle corner. Well, middle side, not a corner. Scott said, I had haggis flavored chips in Scotland. Ooh. That sounds not that inviting. Leonard says, I hate the Covered Bridge brand. To me, they are the worst. Try the Humble brand, sold in organic stone. Simply the best I have eaten. Yeah, you know what? I can't even think of a good Covered Bridge brand a chip. I think I've only had I might have had another one. I thought they were also too crispy, like a little, like you could almost cut your mouth on them. They were so firm. Dirty vacuum chips. Can you imagine? Oh my God. There was a Calypso flavored chips in the 90s and it tasted really weird. Oh. Yeah, that would definitely. Okay, so it was easy. All right. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna pull this one up over and we'll get easy in here. All right. We got easy down. Perfect. Whiskey and rum chips in Scotland. Oh, wow. Oh, whiskey. Actually, I heard a story today about where the word whiskey came from. Apparently, there's another name for that drink in Ireland, and people were having trouble pronouncing it. I can't even pronounce it. I'm not even going to take an attempt. But eventually, basically, people they couldn't say it, so they ended up just saying whiskey because they couldn't say the end part, and it just stuck. It stuck apparently. Ian says, can't remember the flavor. I think I ate them on the plane heading back home. Lisa says there's a ton of weird flavors of chips out there now. I think a lot of them are designed to appeal to immigrants. Okay. Now, you know what? I'm kind of curious. All right, we'll come back to this in a second. I need to go to Google for a second. All right. All right. Top 10 weirdest chips flavors. Let's see what we get. I'm kind of curious now. All right. Oh my God. We got Lay's cucumber. All right, that doesn't sound that bad though. That doesn't sound that bad. Yeah, it's like a garden. It's a crisp, cool vegetable. All right. All right, now this one. Walker's Cajun Squirrel. Cult favorite. All right, let's see here. Released as part of a novelty flavor contest, this bizarre crispy brings a spicy, nutty, and slightly meaty flavor profile. Okay, well, I guess if it's not tasting like squirrel, but Doritos garlic prawn shrimp. That's in Asia. All right. Okay, that could be interesting. Well, maybe let's see. They smell strongly of freeze dried fish. Okay. Let's see. And this is in the U.S. Lay's Cappuccino French Vanilla. Okay. So it's a breakfast-inspired crossover paired sweet, creamy coffee with salty, starchy potato chips. I don't know if that could work. We got Lay's hot and sour lemon braised duck feet. What? That one's quackers. A regional delicacy transformed into a crispy snack, packing a potent combination of sour tang, bold spice, and rich poultry flavor. All right, we got Lay's Magic Masala. All right, so a complex Indian flavor that blends onion, garlic, turmeric, coriander, and cumin. Okay. Pringles White Chocolate Peppermint. Well, yeah, I'm just trying to. Some people like chips with chocolate. So an extreme sweet and savory holiday mashup. Okay, we got Lay's grilled cheese and ketchup. Oh, this would be good. It's from Canada. A hyper Canadian mashup where two classic comfort foods are combined into one savory, tangy chip. I like. I would want to try that one. Hers Prime Rib. Okay. So it's a savory game day snack, perfectly mimics a liquid smoke-infused meat flavor. And then Lay's Fried Egg. A fried egg chip. Oh my gosh. Often released in limited runs across international markets, these chips famously and unmistakably replicate the taste of egg yolk and the crispy edges of fried egg. Okay. That was interesting. Boomers will remember Nally's potato chips. We have Old Dutch chips over here. Do you have those in the East? I've seen Old Dutch. Yeah, and it's got like a little windmill on the package, I think. Ian says, I used to joke around with guys I worked with from Ontario. I called Ontario the Middle East. It's kind of funny. It is. I mean, technically, yeah. It's funny. A lot of times people would be talking, like when I lived in Calgary, a lot of times people would be talking about the East, and I'm like, oh, okay. So the Maritimes, they're like, the what? I'm like, the Maritimes. They're like, no, no, no. It's like, you go east and you get to Ontario and Quebec. And I'm like, yeah, you can go further east, And they're like, no, 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 that's the ocean. I'm just like, what? But yeah, Middle East, that's fine. A PC lays an Old Dutch here in the West. People think ketchup flavored chips are weird, but put ketchup on fires. There we go. Lay's cucumber tastes synthetic. Try at your own risk. Okay, so Scratch has had that one. Donair and poutine. Can you get any more Could you put a Donair, and we're not talking about any Donairs west of Nova Scotia. We're talking about the Halifax Donair. Could you imagine putting that flavor into a chip? That's the thing. When I go back to visit, high on my day one priority is to have a Halifax Donair. It's my high priority. Probably, my favorite fast food of all time. Scott said, I always thought bacon and sour cream chips were weird. Ian says, I thought ketchup chips was only a Canadian thing. They have them in Colombia, but they aren't as flavorful, not full-on red. Oh, okay. Interesting. And potatoes are grown in South Alberta for the Lay's chips. And I used to call the East Coast the Far East also. Okay. And Larry says, I need to go steal Lay's potatoes and McDonald's fries potatoes. All right. Now, guys, we haven't finished this yet. Oh, where are we? We're over here. We still need 10 more predictions. 10 more predictions. Aren't Donairs the same as gyros? Not even remotely. Not even remotely. So the Halifax Donair, it's actually famous, worldwide famous. Like here, let me show you something. Let's just try something for giggles here. We're going to pull up Google. What is the best Donair in the world? WORLD. There we go. All right, let's see what we get. The Halifax Donair. This is Google. Google has claimed that the Halifax Donair is the best Donair in the world. And it really is. It's not like a gyro at all. It actually uses beef. So the Halifax Donair uses beef, and it has like a sweet sauce that goes in it as well. It is, trust me, you have to, if you go to the Maritimes, have a Halifax Donair. I mean, in Nova Scotia, you just look for Donair. They won't throw Halifax in front of it because that would be, overkill. But have that, and then you'll understand. You won't understand until you've had it. Where are you at, Jonathan? I need you in here to be backing me up on this one. Rory says, back to the game. Yeah. All right. SPYI down. All right, let's get... We got sidetracked on Donairs, but that's fine. All right. Okay. I'm just going to create a few more of these. All right. So SP, and you said SPYI. All right. And we're putting that in as a down. All right. SoFi, down as well. Okay. Let's put that in. SOFI, also on the downside. We got it. Scratch. There was a trend a few years ago with the Haribo sugarless gummy bears. I laughed so hard with the stories people shared when they dared to try those evil candies. What were they? Were they just were they for people who are trying to avoid sugar or something? I don't even know if I've ever heard of these, but I probably have tried them though. I know I've had some gummies in the past that have been just like have a couple and the bag's going in the garbage type that bad. So maybe I don't know if they were Haribo, but they might have been maybe. All right. Larry says Berkshire back down to the same bounce spot as before. All right, we'll put that in. Larry, that's close. That's close. That's a guess. That's a guess. We'll put in Berkshire. All right. I mean, it really doesn't matter if we go A or B or we'll put A. Berkshire.A. All right. Down. All right. Morley says HPYG up. All right. All right, let's put this in HPYG. And we got an up on that one. Okay, perfect. Great. Are you going to make the center square free? No, this is not bingo. These are all guesses that are going to be used on the Canadian battleship on tomorrow. All right. All right. Oracle down. ORCL. There we go. We'll put this in and we'll bring in a red arrow. Okay, 5 more. 5 more. Rory says Enbridge down a tad. Okay. All right. ENB. All it needs to be down is 0.01 or more. That's all it needs. Elisa says, Candace, you are making me laugh today with your pronunciations. Yes. Oh, it's actually funny because being from Halifax and the Maritimes, there is an accent there. There is an accent. I try to get rid of it. I've tried to sort of move it out, but sometimes it flows through. And plus, sometimes there's just words I look at and I'm just like, what the heck? I'm just going to say whatever I'm going to say. I don't care. Whatever comes out is going to be fine. Gyros is Greek. Donair is Turkish. Okay, cool. Paul says I bit, up bit. All right, I bit. I bit, you bit, we all ate. Oh no, I've been around Scott too long. Oh boy. All right, I bit up. All right, I bit up. Scott says, I don't see any Donairs in Cape Breton or St. John. I'll have to go to Halifax next time. Yeah, I'm not sure about Cape Breton, but yeah, they're pretty much every store will have them in, and you can even get Donair, like Halifax Donair on pizza, down there as well, over there. Ian says, I saw the gummy bear video. It's worse than eating lettuce right now. And Scratch says, there was that 1 kilogram bang on Amazon that gives the same treatment that you would get before a colonoscopy. Yeah. There we go. Taco Bell lettuce. Yikes. Pretty much the same. Shopify down, says Bismarcky. Okay. Shopify. All right. Here we go. Shopify. Oh, I need a down arrow. There we go. I better just, you know what? I'm going to put 2 more here. That way there we go. I've got enough for everything. We've got 2 left. Yes, Taco Bell lettuce. Silosporine bears. BK up, says Leonard. Okay. Let's have a BK up. All right, we'll see how the bank split core does. All right, and our last one, Prairie says Tellus up. Oh, nobody guessed. Nobody guessed on the SpaceX today. All right, that's cool. Tellus. There we go. And we are going with an up. Our board is in play. It is locked in. Tomorrow at the market close at the bell, we'll be able to see how this is all going to come out. Ian says, Candace, you will have to Google the gummy bears later on your own time. Yeah. Under the sofa cushion gummy bears. Yeah, no. I will say one thing, though. Now, maybe I'm weird, but marshmallows. I like to open my marshmallows, and they're nice and fresh. I don't like that. I like a little bit of staleness in there. I want that marshmallow to harden just a little bit. So a lot of times I'll open the bag of marshmallows and I'll just I'll sit back and I'll give it some time. I'll give it some time, or I'll freeze them and eat them that way because I'm perfectly fine doing that too. Astra says Q day down. Well, we run out of votes, but that's an interesting. Yeah, maybe. Newfoundland has a bigger accent. Oh, they do. Oh, they really do. The Newfoundland accent, I mean, and it depends too. Like when you look at Nova Scotia, so Halifax, the accent it's subtle, it's more subtle, but as you go rural, the accent starts to get stronger and stronger. And if you go to Cape Breton, then it's kind of a Nova Scotian version of Newfoundland. It is not Newfoundland, but it's highly Gaelic. I think there's a big Gaelic influence on it. But yeah, I mean, it depends on like if you were born in Halifax and you live mostly in Halifax, your accent's not going to be that bad. It's going to be there a little bit. There's going to be a few things. Like for example, we love to throw S's on stuff. So for example, if I want to say I was everywhere, in Nova Scotia, the way a Nova Scotian would say it is, I was everywheres. So we throw those S's on. And I never knew about it. And I was working, actually, when I was working in BC, my boss pulled me in once and she was like, why do you throw S's on everything? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, you say everywheres, over there's, you throw S's, you just keep throwing S's on stuff. And I was totally unaware that I threw S's on stuff. But now, of course, I paid attention to my words, and I have for the most part, I have removed the S's. If I get really excited, maybe an S might slip out, but I'm mostly S-free. Scott says fuzzy gummy bear under the sofa. Wait a minute. I read that before. Oh, yeah, that was Rory, and then Scott said it. It's not gyros. It's gyros. Gyro. Oh boy. All right. Can somebody give me a phonetic spelling on that? I'm gonna stick with gyros until I know how to say that. No, gyros. Oh boy. Astro says C day up. But we're full, Astro, but I hope you're right with that. Let's see. Rory, Newfoundland and Cork, Ireland, could they understand each other? I wonder. I watched a reaction video once of an Irish girl reacting to Newfoundland, and she actually said that the accent in Newfoundland was a lot like, and she mentioned a couple little areas in Ireland. She says it's a lot like over there. It sounds very, very similar. So I think it's a lot more Irish sounding than, without being the stereotypical Irish. We started bullish and ended bearish. I know. It was kind of it's you know what? It's a good mix. We'll see. We're going to see what happens. What's your prediction for tomorrow? Red or green? Red. And you guys are going to see here in about 25 minutes when we see the oil coming in. I have a feeling oil's going to be up big time. We've got a little bit of an escalation there. Iran killed a couple of Americans. Killed 2, and 1 is missing. So the U.S. is pretty mad. I think, that we won't necessarily have like a massive escalation from it, but I think that might be enough to rattle investors a little bit. So if we do get green, I think it'll be one of the days where it starts red and then slowly works its way back to green. But I mean, with this market, sometimes you can be completely wrong, and maybe it's not going to impact people as much. But if the price of oil jumps, like I think it is, then I think there's definitely a good chance we can start in the red. Scott says, my channel on YouTube has tried some maritime products and noted that the accent is pretty much the same. Oh, the Try channel. I thought you said my channel. Try channel on YouTube. Okay. Marshmallow is like a good wine. Yes, exactly. SXHIs. United States, ask versus asks. No, wait a minute. Ask versus axe. There we go. Yep. I want to axe that. I want to axe that comparison. It's too close. Leonard says, I'm Greek. It is Euros. Oh, see, I can do. Euros. It's like a hero, but they're celebrating, going, yay! Whoops. Euro. All right, Euros. All right, I think I got it. Thank you, Leonard. Thank you. Now I have to make sure I remember that. Euros. Okay. Ian says, any other dividend increases I should know about? ENCL, Utes, ECHI, H-Yield. I haven't heard of any yet. But you never know. I don't think we're going to see any. Like, you know, like with, what was the ENCL, for example? You know, I find that Global X, I don't know, I find that they tend to sort of sit back and wait for a bit before they think about it. So I don't think we're going to see any more, because you have to realize ENCL was up higher where it was, and they didn't get an increase then, even though it is down, but now it's coming back up. So yeah, we'll take a we'll see. Right now, nothing. Whoops, sorry. I should bring it up. I should make sure I bring it up when I'm reading it. A scratch. Do you heard about the Japanese dumping on U.S. bonds? I've heard a few little things. About that, and I've heard the possibility somewhere down the line that they're going to look at increasing their rates again, which of course is not good for people who are using carry trades. So yeah, there's a lot of, I hear a lot of things, but I need to hear stuff officially. You know what I mean? Like if somebody decides to say, well, we think that Japan is going to dump these bonds, okay, that's fine. Maybe they are, but I want to see Japan dumping the bonds, you know, or it doesn't hurt. I mean, it certainly doesn't hurt to be, you know what I really need to do? It's funny. Like when I'm sitting down brainstorming for videos, I was thinking the other day, I was like, I'd just love to do a video on the carry trade, and just on Japan and the bonds, and you know what kind of an impact it could have on the U.S. market. Then I remember the last time I did a Japan video. It was quite literally one of the worst videos I've ever done on the channel. Nobody really watched it. You know, well, I had a few people watch it, but not many. And I thought it was a great video. I did so much research for it, and it was all about the lost decade and the giant stock market crash that they had coming into that. I thought it was a great video, but the viewers did not like it. They're like, no, we don't come here for history lessons, Candace. We're here for the bonds. We're here for the stocks. We're here for the ETFs. Just give us what we want. Don't give us history. So that's the one thing that makes me go, I'd like to do it, but it would probably do really bad. So, but it's still brewing. One of these days I'll probably eventually do it, but, or I might just work it into something. You know what? That's probably something I wonder if I could just work that into a monologue. That might be a thought. Because that's what I can use the monologues for too, is I can, if it's a slow news day, I could always just do a monologue about Japan. That's a thought. Ian says, all this food talk is making me hungry. Diet hack. Sometimes if I get hungry, I do sit-ups. Don't know why it works, but it does. Nice. I find brushing my teeth works. Like if I get really hungry and I'm like, oh, and I feel like I'm going to snack on something, if I go brush my teeth, then I know psychologically it's like, nope, I've already brushed my teeth. I am not going to eat anything at this point. Lisa says, thanks, Leonard. I know that, but I thought that would really throw Candace for a loop. No, I got it. Oh boy. It was Yeros. There we go. I keep remembering. Rhymes with heroes, but it's a euro. Rory, later this week, Hamilton should have a new press release. Yeah, they should. ASPS earnings Thursday, expected 42 million, profit market cap 72 million. Ooh, that'll be interesting. And that's coming out on Thursday. Let's see. I thought Euros was pronounced starting with a G and changing to a Y at the back of the throat, followed by Eros. Scott says the G and Y are single letter that merged. Nobody watched it until it was too late. Getting Domino's. Oh, pizza. Nice. During the monologue, have a live ticker across the bottom of markets. That's a great idea, Paul. I just have to figure out. I don't know how to do it. That's the one thing stopping me right now. But I wonder if there's a way I could do something like that. Like I can build a ticker. Like I can quite literally, like watch. I think I have tickers here. I never use them, but like here. Here's a channel member ticker to join the channel membership. I don't use now. How can I make it live though? How can I make it live? Unless, like right now, the one thing I can think of, Paul, is if I created a web page that had a live ticker element to it, and then I just shared my screen on that web page and put my head over that. I don't know how to do it. I don't know, but I'd like to have. You know what? I'd like to have a ticker. I didn't know I wanted a ticker until now, Paul. I do want a ticker. Like not even just through the monologue. It'd be kind of cool to have a ticker down there, like all the time. Huh. Scott says, get AI to do it. I'm going to have a conversation with AI and see if there's an easy way to do it. Because that would be good. Prairie. I hold WCN, CNR, TELUS, banking on the market being down tomorrow. So I'm looking for these three being up if the past 2 weeks have any indication. All right. The cat's just staring at me. The ticker that is. Oh my. Well, guys, we've only got about 16 minutes until we get those markets open. And we can see what the heck is going to happen with the oil. So, hey, kitty. Whoops. Sorry. I was trying to reach her, and there's a lamp in the way. There we go. There we go. Just giving her a quick head scratch. Hi, kitty cat. I need to get a kitty cam. That's what I need. I need to do that. I should do that. All right. Is soccer still going on? I think this is the final one. Is it Argentina and Spain? Who are you guys going for, by the way? Or Canada? Yeah, Canada was eliminated. It's actually funny. Like the two teams that I wanted to go to the final, they both were eliminated, and so now we got Argentina and Spain. And I'm trying to think, who do I want? I kind of think I want Spain. I think I want Spain to win. Scott says, look if there's an RSS feed. Okay, I'll figure. We'll get this figured out. Well, the thing is, I have to make sure as well that it's compatible with StreamYard. So I'll figure that. Let's figure it out. There's got to be a way to do it. I got more IVM this week. Looking forward to buy more in the low 10s. Okay, fair enough. Spain just scored. Oh, you know what? That's probably eating up some more of my my viewers as well. Like right now, guys, there's only 23 people here. That's really. This might be a record low. Like I think I don't think I've had a stream with this few number of people in probably a couple of years. So, but yeah, we got the World Cup going and people are excited and watching it. It's kind of one of those things, you know what? Like, for example, if the Blue Jays were playing the World Series Game 7 and I had a stream at that time, I wouldn't expect a lot of people. Well, there'd be some. There's always people who don't like baseball or just couldn't be bothered, or it's like, I'll just catch the score. My daughter gave me brief about AI and energy use. At the same time, I don't think she knows how to turn a light out. That's funny. A Market Watch RSS feed. Yeah, yeah. That would be, yeah, like quite literally. Well, here, let me just see something here. Let's see here. Let's just put in Market Watch RSS feed. I'm just going to take a look and see what we get here. RSS feeds. Okay. So let's see. Real time. All right. So yeah, I don't know how to do it. I don't know what I'm doing here. All right. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Okay. Top stories, real-time headlines, breaking news, market pulse. All right, maybe the market pulse. Oh, this must be the RRS. Okay. So I think what I do is I probably put this into my ticker, but that's not going to update it. So yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. A scratch says, LOL. Ian, that's what the rifle is for. Then I come home and the AC is set low enough to hang meat. Oh no. Oh gosh. Did any of you guys, just a question here, did any of you guys, because that reminded me of it, have any of you guys seen the trailer for the new Rocky movie? Well, it's called I Play Rocky. It's like the life story of Sylvester Stallone. I watched the trailer and I was just like, oh, like the trailer gives you a little bit of the backstory of Sylvester Stallone, and I'm like, I did not know this. So there was a lot of stuff in the trailer that I was like, oh, it kind of made me respect him a little more. Just because, in a nutshell, what the trailer kind of says, and I guess this is not spoiler territory, is he wanted to be an actor, and nobody would take him seriously because of his voice, and so he's like, all right, if nobody's going to take me seriously, I will just write my own movie. So he spent a couple of days and he penned Rocky, and everybody loved the script and they wanted it. But he was like, no, you can't have it unless I play Rocky. And I was just like, oh. And it was just kind of cool, like, because apparently they offered him lots of money and everything to try to get anybody but him to play it. But it ended up working out, obviously. Anyway, it looked interesting. I was just like, I not like I probably won't see it in the theater, but I might watch it one of these days when it goes to streaming. All right, Scott says the only Rocky I've seen lately was in Project Hail Mary. Yeah, that was a good movie. Because yeah, after I think it was you, Scott, mentioned it was on Prime. Quite literally that night after the stream, went and watched it. Stallone punches a side of beef and it is frozen. He breaks his hand. That was actually in the trailer. Yeah, so I was like, okay. Larry says one of my exes is in the new Sylvester Stallone Samuel Jackson series being shot in Dallas. Oh, well, that's kind of cool. R.I.P. Carl Weathers. Yeah, I think he died, what, a year ago, maybe? Yeah, I know Carl Weathers he was a good actor. He was a good actor for sure. Obviously Apollo Creed, and he also, I mean, if you guys ever watched The Mandalorian, he did a pretty good job in that as well. So yeah, he was a good actor. And I feel there was something else big that he was into that I can't remember what it was, but Frisco King is the title. Oh, that's the new one? I haven't heard anything about it yet, so very cool. Now here's that thing though, Larry. If you go to see it and your ex is acting in it, that's got to pull you out of the, because normally you suspend your disbelief. That's got to pull you out of it. That's got to pull you out of it. One thing I think, so for example, when I used to live in Vancouver, anytime I was watching something that was filmed right around where I worked, and I'd see my work building or the street, and I recognized all the scenery around it, that used to pull me out because then I'm like, oh yeah, I know there. I was there the other day, and that used to do that. So now I'm glad that now that I don't live there, it's and I kind of forget some things. Now I don't get that happening as much. Scott says Stallone was in Death Race 2000 before Rocky. Okay, fair enough. Scratch says last movie I watched was Sound of Silence. Great movie. Well, that's a song. Scratch, that's a song. But was it a movie? Was there a Sound of Silence movie? It's time. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Sound of a Sound of Silence, a movie. Oh, there we are. Okay, okay. Let's see. A house tuner adjusts the acoustic environment of homes to cure his clients' anxiety and fatigue. Okay. I did not know about that. That was 29. Oh, there was a 20. Oh, there's also a 2025 one too. But a drama lawyer? Okay, that's probably the one, I think. What area of Vancouver did you live? A couple of areas. So at one point I actually lived downtown. That was like in a high rise. That was pretty darn expensive. Walking distance to Stanley Park. Now, where I worked, though, and that's kind of where everything used to happen. I used to work, oh my God, down around West Pender. And the building, so the building I worked in was right next to a building that was used in almost everything. So, for example, the building next to my building, they used it in the Fantastic Four, like at the Fox Fantastic Fours. They were using it as the Baxter Building. It was also the Daily Planet on Smallville. In fact, with Smallville, there was one season finale, a Zod storyline where, they had the final scene. They were showing Metropolis. They panned out a bit, and I could see my building with holes in it and smoke coming out. And pretty much one of the holes was pretty much where my office was, and I thought that was hilarious. Let's see here. Rory says I have First Blood 1 and 2 on my HD. Second Blood. There was a Third Blood. I think there was a. Was it Second Blood? Was it? I thought it was Final Blood. I don't know. Yeah, there was like the last Rambo. It was actually pretty good. I think I liked it. I liked it. Rory says yes. Last movie I saw was Happy Gilmore 2. It was horrible, but I watched it with my daughter, so I enjoyed it. Okay, fair enough. Scratch says, my bad, it was The Sound of Freedom. Oh, okay. There we go. Rambo. Agent Kim reactivated on Netflix. I have Rambo Last Blood also. That's what I was thinking, Last Blood. I thought it was Last Blood. Last Blood 2. Wait a minute. All right. All right. Now you guys are confusing me. Let's go to Rambo movies. All right. I'm just going to click up here on the franchise. Let's see what we got. All right. Oh, okay. All right. No, there was John Rambo. Oh, that was a prequel. I never saw that one. Okay. Oh, and that's because it hasn't come out yet. All right. So First Blood, and then, was it called First Blood Part 2? Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought it was just Rambo 2. Okay, then Rambo 3, then simply Rambo, and then Rambo Last Blood. I'm pretty sure I've seen them all, but all right. There we go. Scott says, I was putting new grass down and had to kneel before sod. Oh, God. I can't believe you're getting multiple goats today. You are getting multiple goats. Holy banana bread. Oh. That one, I don't know if it was that it was that funny or that it just caught me off guard. I think it caught me off guard. But I loved it. I did love it. Rory says Zod. Larry, watching Harry Potter tonight, doing a drinking date with tequila every time his scar hurts. Hieronymy is a know-it-all. Ron gets self-conscious and Draco insults someone. Take a shot. Wait a minute. How do you say her name? No, it's Heremedy. I don't know how to say her name anymore. Now, in my defense, I've not read the Harry Potter books, and I've only seen a couple of the movies. Heromony. No. Oh, gosh. Okay. Scott is the herd by himself. That's unheard of. Harry Plopper, a toilet story. Oh, God. All right, Hermione. Okay. I'm gonna need to hear somebody say it. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Hermione. I don't know if it's working, Scott. Yero, I can say that one. But Hermione, yeah. Oh boy. You guys are going to break Candace. I know. Well, maybe this one will work. Hermione. There we go. Harry and Hermione goes to Taco Bell. Oh, crap. Okay. Larry says, even though I'm against the woke stuff, I'm going to give the new Harry Potter series a shot. Comes out, I think, in September. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Are they going to rehash the whole story? Is that kind of the idea? Or is it going to be just a sort of an untold chapter in the life of Harry Potter? I don't know. So, or maybe they are going to do the whole series again. I mean, it's a big franchise. I mean, you got to do something with it. Like, quite literally, I was thinking the other day about Indiana Jones. Anyway, I think what Lucasfilm should have done from the beginning, and they didn't, is I think they should have given it the James Bond treatment. Because, I mean, with Indiana Jones, you could have been making movies for years. You wouldn't have had to do crazy stuff like Crystal Skull and stuff, because you would have always had a young Indiana Jones. Like, Harrison Ford does the first three, then you get a new Indiana Jones, and maybe they get three, and then a new Indiana Jones, and you just keep on telling Indiana Jones stories. And you don't even have to have each one being sequential. Like, you could have the second three could have been before the first three if you wanted. But that's how I think I would have went with it. And then you could, then you don't get into a situation where it's like, Indiana Jones and the Walker of Doom. That doesn't end up happening. Rory says, will it have goblin bankers? Good question. Every season is a new book. Oh. A new book? So wait a minute, Larry. Is this taking place after the movies then? Is that what you mean? Interesting. The Mandalorian and Grogu arrives on VOD July 21st. Wink, wink, torrents. Yeah. I'm going to wait till it comes out on Disney. And the only reason for that is just, and I think I've mentioned this before, Jill's visually impaired. So we need the audio description. And with torrents, you don't get that. And she wants to watch that one too. So we'll wait till it hits Disney Plus. I don't know when that's going to be. Actually, I'm sure. Let's Google it. We're waiting for oil to open, so why not Google it? All right. When is the Mandalorian and Grogu? Oh, right here. Look, somebody's already typed it in. Oh, September. It's a long way. Darn it. I was hoping it was sooner than that. Okay, well. All right. Kevin O'Leary is a goblin-like investor. Yeah, he likes the gold and the royalties. Scott says, you're a wizard, Larry. You're a lizard, Mary. Oh, boy. I've just been told to plan on rehashing the series with newer and younger actors. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So the first season is The Sorcerer's Stone. Okay. So basically rehashing it, but with young. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that could be interesting. Second season, Chamber of Secrets. Third, Prisoner of Azkaban. Azkaban. All right. Is sorcerer or philosopher? Don't want to spoil anything, but BlackRock own everything at the end. Okay. Harry Potter 4 is kind of dumb, too teenagey. Okay. And, oh, guys, we might get some movement over. Oh, look at this. It overshot where I was guessing. I was guessing 84. It opened almost at 85. Larry beat us out. Larry was right. So there we are. WTI, $85 right now. And Brent also coming out at 90, almost 91. So yeah, there's that big jump. All right, we can get rid of my line. We can get rid of my line, but yeah, here we go. Big jump in oil as expected. Oh boy. Yeah, Rory saying Brent at 90. 91. Look at this, 91. It jumped and it's just going. It's just a go. Oh, we're in for we may be in for a buy the dip in the morning, guys. So if you got some capital to deploy, take a look. Maybe there might be a deal or two. That's exactly why he's a wizard. I know. It's like Larry said, "Hey, sorting cat, before you put me in a house, where's oil opening up at tonight?" Yep. The sorting hat is very wise. Rory, can imagine all the Harry Potter cast replaced by the 70s show cast? Yeah. I could just see Red in the Harry Potter universe. Calling everybody a dumbass. I like it. Harry Puta. Or we could have a cyborg one and call it Harry Computer. Scratch says Canadian Oil and Services looks amazing. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Tomorrow will be a very interesting day on the market for sure. We're gonna see, unless, and I'm trying to think, like if Trump can always come out and say, all right, but I don't think he will. I don't think he will in this case. I think they're pretty much annoyed. So yeah, no, I think tomorrow will be a red day. Whether it ends red, like I said, things can calm down through the day, but I think initially we should get a pretty deep red. It might be too deep to get out of though. So if I had to bet on tomorrow, like if we had the poly market available, I would be betting for red. Ah, boy, the poly market. I don't know if you guys heard last week, the guy who does the teleprompter for Trump got himself in a little bit of hot water over poly market. So he had been making bets over the last year or so on things that were going to be in Donald Trump's speech. So let that sink in for a bit. The guy who basically runs the teleprompter, which has Donald Trump's speech in it, was making bets ahead of the speech to say what was going to be in it. So obviously insider. So yeah, he got into a little bit of trouble. I don't know what that'll end up working out to be. And I mean, heck, if he gets charged and thrown in jail or something, well, he'll probably just get a fine. But, who knows? A Scratch says at some point we will see a short squeeze in the oil market. We can't deny reality. It could be interesting. What I think here, and actually right here, Larry is saying kind of what I'm thinking. So Larry's saying, I'm going to sell oil at pre-market open. I expect a Trump tweet in the morning trying to drop the oil price. That's the thing I was sort of getting at, is that calming down. So I think everything's going to start pretty deep in the red, and this is this is kind of where Larry's thinking, like sell the oil in the pre-market and see if the market calms down, oil comes back down, then Larry can move it back in. Instant profit, instant profit. So that's not a bad move. That's not a bad move. Roy says, let's all go to Wall Street bets on Canada Oil. Let's all, yeah, why not? Well, they have done Canadian companies. I mean, they were doing BlackBerry back in the day, and they also pumped some of our marijuana stocks and a few other things. So Scott says he put "F-U San Diego" on the teleprompter. Really? Did he actually? He might have. You never know. Gold is down. Maybe BTO buy-in. Do you think financials will be hit hard? Well, looking here at gold, like right now, we can sort of see gold is already starting down a little bit. So silver, I don't think my copper is active right now, but platinum, silver, and gold are down. So it really depends. I'm going to say right now, yes. I think financials might be down a little bit too, just because I think it'll be more widespread tomorrow. But I think financials will bounce back probably faster. Like financials might be the type that's down in the morning. They could be sort of flat by the end of the day type thing, depending on how things go. If we do get a Trump tweet. Now, if we get a Trump tweet even before the market opens, that could be interesting. But, let's see what happens. And also keep in mind, there's still ongoing stuff going on between Iran and the United States. And if Iran keeps hitting other oil facilities, that could be bad too. Rory says B2 gold, right on time. Iran just hit another. Oh boy. Iran. It's like I want to run away from Iran. Oh boy, if the Kuwait oil fields burn again, oil will be at 150. Yeah, these are the things that we don't need happening. But yeah. Scratch says oil is at its cheapest ratios we have ever witnessed compared to the S&P Gold. I am just sitting and waiting on my positions. Okay, fair enough. Let's see what happens. Quite literally, I wonder if Drudge has already jumped on this whole Kuwait thing. I got way too many windows open. All right, let's pull up Drudge. We'll see if sometimes they're pretty good. American death toll climbs. Iran crosses red line. More Trump threats. Wider war fears. Mind you, these guys are clickbaity, so take their headlines with a grain of salt. A lot of times I like to do this. I go from here, and then I go to CNN. And CNN tends to be a little bit less clickbaity, but you'll notice we still have the same theme. U.S. troop deaths raise fears of a wider war with Iran. So the last time I heard there was 2 dead and 1 missing, but I don't know if that's changed. Let's just go in there and take a look. Okay, no, there's another one that was killed on Saturday. Okay, so I think there's 3 now. I think there's 3. So yeah, this isn't gonna. This probably, I don't know if we're gonna get a tweet tomorrow. That's the thing. But here's a beautiful thing. And if things continue to go really, really crazy, then Larry could always change his mind in the morning if it looks like oil's going to pump through the day. But I still think things will probably cool off a bit by the morning, and Trump will do something, Truth Social or something. Now this new paid version, I don't think that launches until the 1st of August. XEQT at 44 would be a nice addition. 43.50. Oh, XEQT. All right, I got way too many. All right, let's close a few of these windows. All right. Bye, Jasper. Bye, Kirtland's Warbler. And more Jasper. There we go. All right. And we can go. There we go. Okay. Now I can see what we're looking at. All right. All right. XEQT. And that's where we were heading. All right, let's take a look here. So right now it's sitting at 44, what is it, 44.48. How far could it drop? Oh, it can drop a ways. It could. I mean, because it's already at a pretty high evaluation right now. So yeah, I think it could drop. I think 44 is 44. If we get the red day I'm expecting, I think 44 is reasonable. 44.50, 43.50. I don't know about 43.50. I know this, Rory. Rory, I know you have a habit of putting in a limit order that you just don't get there. I think 44, you probably would be safe. But 43.50, I would, you know what, Rory, if let's say you were going to spend $500 on XEQT tomorrow, put 250 in at 44 and then another 250 at 43.50. That way there, if you don't hit it, at least you got the 44. That's what I would do. That's what I think I would do. But, obviously you can try. I mean, maybe it does get bad and maybe 43.50 does work. That'd be kind of cool. Larry says, I'm pretty sure Iran knows when futures markets opens and close, so they must be doing it on purpose. Maybe. I mean, market manipulation by war. Karate chick says, pretty light on the like button. Yeah, there's not a lot of people here today. Probably, yeah, I can't. Here, let me refresh this. It's probably been about 2 years since we've had this small of a group. Yeah, easily 2 years. So, oh, hey, you know what? 33. I'll take it. I'll take the 33 on a day like today. But this one here, like quite literally, a lot of people will watch this later. Like, a lot of people might be out, picnics, beaches, whatever you do in the summer. And then come home and maybe chill, and check this out a little bit later, that type of thing. Scott says we're mostly all bots here. Okay. Yeah, well, I've been accused of being AI before, so, what can I say? Oh, though I had a good one. I had a good one yesterday. So somebody put in a comment, and I was looking at it. I deleted it because it was kind of rude. And they're just like, oh, I'm not going to take financial advice from you. You look like you spend all your time in a wheelchair over at Walmart. I was just like, wow, what the heck is that? You don't want to give me a wheel. I was in a wheelchair once. I had a ruptured a tendon in my leg. So when I went to the hospital, work made me go because I did it at work. So they put me in a wheelchair. Oh boy, I was running. I was terrible. So trust me, you absolutely would never want me to get into a wheelchair type situation because it would not be safe for people. It really wouldn't. Rory says, well, I am Hal 9000. Awesome, Dave. Awesome. I mean, Rory. Karate says, I think we can hit 40. Maybe. I mean, we've only got about, I don't know, 15, 16, 18 minutes roughly left. But guys, if you guys can hit 40 by 18, and I'm looking right now. Right now, there's 29 of you. And you're thinking, well, Candace, there's 29 of us. We've already given you 33 likes. But there's been people coming and going. On a show like this, where it's this, 2.5 hours, there's always people coming and going. So I'm betting of the people who are here right now, I bet you there's 7 of you who have not yet hit that like button. So, let's do it. Let's just come down. Let's just do it. We'll make it a perfect weekend. Oh, look, I just refreshed. We're at 39. We're 1 away. One of you can make me shut up, like right away. Oh, that's so good. I'll refresh it once more. We'll see if we got that 40. That would be kind of cool. There we go. Perfect. I will not say another word about it. But what I will say is if you got your last minute questions, now's the time. We got about, I don't know what, we got 15 minutes or so. And just get them on in. Get them on in. Karate says, boom, hit it, 40. Nice. Absolutely. Oh gosh, have you guys ever watched Anatoly? And you guys might be like, Anna who? So Anatoly, he's a Ukrainian power lifter. So he's super, super strong, but he doesn't look like a bodybuilder. He looks, when he has his overalls on, he looks kind of like a geek. He looks like he's small and that he'd have trouble picking up a pencil. But that's the thing. He has a YouTube channel and he makes these videos where he goes into the gym and he just pretends he's a cleaner. And then he goes up to these really, really big, jacked up guys. And then he's usually making comments about their weights. And then he says, I want to try it. And they're like, no, no, you can't touch it. You can't touch it. You look at you. You can't touch these. You'll hurt yourself. And then he does, then he, of course, he ends up picking up some of these crazy weights. And anyway, I was watching a few of those earlier and I was just like, holy crap. Like I've seen him not so much in his doing his joke things, but there was another video I watched from some other trainer guy. And he had Anatoly in there, and at one point he had him deadlifting about 500 pounds, and I was just like, and here's the thing you have to realize: this Anatoly guy, he weighs 170 pounds roughly, and he can deadlift 500. And I was just like, how is that even possible? But anyway, I don't know why. For some reason, Karate Chicks Boom made me think of Anatoly. So, I bring the tangents. That's my job. I talk and answer questions and bring tangents. As simple as that. Rory, Anatoly has the tightest muscle striations I ever saw on a person. So there we go. Rory knows who Anatoly is. So there we go. Yeah. Yeah, I just, like, it's incredible. Like, well, he also has a mop. Now, his mop, his mop weighs, what is it? I think it's 35 kilograms. So obviously it's a fake mop, but it's funny. He'll hand it like it's like when he's handling it, it looks like he's handling it like a regular mop. And then he'll hand it to somebody like, here, hold my mop. And so the big muscle bound guy will take the mop, and it will pretty much almost rip his arm out of the socket because of the weight. But I find them amusing. It's kind of one of my little guilty pleasures. I got a few guilty pleasures, and watching Anatoly, it makes me just like, because it feels like it defies logic. It feels like, if we had a real life superhero, that would be the type of thing I would actually kind of expect. Rory says, like Superman versus WWE wrestlers. Yeah, it kind of is. Well, and that's the thing. If you're building, tangent, a little small, very small tangent, but a lot of times the way you train for maximum strength is different than the way you train for big muscles. So a lot of times these people who train for maximum strength, it builds the density a little bit different in the muscles. Whereas a lot of the people who are building for big muscles, so bodybuilders, they're building basically to create, they want their muscles to be sort of swollen in such a way. I'm not saying it's not like they're not full of fat or anything, but they're highly, highly adapted with a lot of storage for glycogen. So glycogen, of course, uses water, and it is sugar, and that's because those muscles are going to be using that glycogen. So for anaerobic respiration, but that's what makes their muscles really big. So the glycogen, whereas if you train for pure pure strength, almost explosive strength, you don't need as much glycogen. So your muscles can be a lot smaller, but can actually be stronger. And that's kind of the lesson I think that Anatoly brings to the table. Blue janitor sunglasses guy. That's him. There we go. See, Larry knows who Anatoly is. All right. Sufi says Spain wins. Congratulations, Spain. Awesome. Scratch. I do watch Anatoly too. My guilty pleasure. There we go. And Bruce Lee. All right. Awesomeness. So yeah, that's fantastic. I take it was like, was it 1-0? I don't know what the score was. I just know that you guys at one point said Spain scored. So I'm going to assume maybe 1-0. But there we go. Spain beat Argentina. I'm happy about it. When's the last time Spain won the World Cup? Or is this have they won it before? You know what? I don't know, and I want to know. I want to know. Oops, I was gonna do. I started HOO. Like, what am I doing? Am I going to Hooters.com or something? No. All right, Google. Here we go. All right, has Spain won the World Cup before? All right, there we go. Let's find out. Okay. Oh, they've won twice. All right, so they won in. Oh, okay. So it's actually, wow, this is up to date. So they're saying twice, and that's counting what they just won. So yeah, they won their first title in 2010, and then their second in 2026. Congratulations, Spain. Rory, a lot of Chuck Norris shorts out there nowadays too. I bet. I know I was recently watching those ones where he was showing up in like old school shows in the opening credits, and then basically kicking people. Scratch says, I am more like that guy who do parkour and farts. Okay. Boy, you must be quite the gas. I love it though. Nothing wrong with that. Oh boy. I was watching. Oh man, I was watching a video earlier today. It was a guy who basically was over in Ireland, and he was just he wanted to just go out and have a day by himself just to see what it was like. He wasn't from Ireland, and at one point in the scene, this guy walked by him and just let one rip. And he made a lot of comments about it, but I was just like, oh, okay. It's nice that somebody can be that comfortable in public that they can, they can do that. Jack Vale. I don't know who Jack Vale is. Should I know who Jack Vale is? Let's find out. Jack Vale. Lobbyist and former assistant to the president. All right, I assume this is one, or are you talking about the American YouTuber? There's a couple, oh boy. And there's also, okay, no, there's two. Oh no, that's Jack Valenti. Jack Vale. Okay, here we go. Funniest funniest fart pranks at Walmart. Oh, that could be funny. Well, they used to have that thing. I think it was done in Quebec. So it was all like just music, and they were doing practical jokes. I think it was called I think it was part of Just for Laughs. But one of the ones I used to love is they'd have the guy who'd be coming up behind someone, and they would spray with some water, and he would pretend to sneeze. So the person would feel like they've just been sneezed on, and and the reactions were so funny. All right, Scratch. I don't know the name. Let's see. A surprise Argentina. No surprise. Argentina was a top contender. They have the worm. No, the fart guy. Okay. 44. My job here is done. Later, Gators. Thank you for coming in and fixing our like button, Karate Chick. Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's almost dinner time. Yeah, you and me both. I can actually smell food. I can smell food cooking. So we're getting close. We got about 6 minutes. Guys. Oil's still going up. Look at this. Yeah, Brent is now up 3.12. WTI up 3, but and here, let's look at WTI. Same. Yeah, WTI is just kind of, WTI doesn't seem to be moving as much as Brent right now, but oh my gosh, what a world, right? What a world. Everything's burning. If it's not forest fires, it's it's missiles and drones and all of that fun stuff. I would love to have a year without war. Just one. Just give us one. It's probably never going to happen, guys. I don't know. Oh well. So yeah. Well, guys, we will I guess, we might as well call it about here, I think. We're pretty darn close. Scratch says we live in crazy times. We really do. Like, let me ask you this question. All right. I was going to leave, but I'm going to ask this question anyway. If you could go back to 20-year-old you, do you think 20-year-old you could have envisioned today? Could have envisioned the world that we live in today? I don't know what 20-year-old me would think the world. Like I was expecting things to continue, but I mean, at 20, I wasn't fully aware. I wasn't fully prepared for the internet. I knew things of AI and stuff like that, but I never thought that it would be something that would happen in my lifetime per se. But you know, Scratch says, "Wish you all big greens this week. They'll build a Trump AI just to mess with the planet for the next 100 years." Oh God, yeah. Larry said, "Yo, new season of Silo started." Yeah, I'm 2 episodes in so far on the new season, Larry. So not too shabby. One of the things I like is we are getting to see a little bit more of the before time, but I'm not spoiling anything because that was heavily in the promos for it. Rory says, "If I knew about investing when I was 17 at a high school, much would be different." Yeah, of course, of course. But yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Like, if you wanted to be rich, just imagine, you could have went into a trade. Go into the trades instead of university, and you could have. There's so many opportunities. So many opportunities. Scratch. 20-year-old me saw 9/11, and I knew that we would see major issues in the future. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And I've told this story before, but so 2001, September 11th. On September 10th, I declared September 11th a non-media day. It was going to be a gaming day. So I told everybody ahead of time, on September 11th, leave me alone. I'm not going to watch the TV. I'm just going to game all day. I wanted no contact, no phone calls, no media. And that's the way it began. So I'm doing my thing at my computer. I can't even remember the game I was playing. It was one of these weird ones, resource collection type things. Anyway, it might have been Might and Magic, maybe. But I was playing the game, and then I get the first phone call. And so it was a guy I worked with. And he was like, "Hey, you watching the TV?" I'm like, "Nope." And then he's like, "Well, you better watch the TV." I'm like, "Nope. This is my gaming day. Nothing's going to interrupt me from that." And he was like, "You really, really want to watch the TV." And then my words, and this is the funny thing, I said, "Unless you tell me a city's been nuked, I'm not watching the TV." And his response at that point was, he was like, "Well, wow, you're actually pretty close." And that point, gaming day was over. At that point, gaming day was over. But yeah, anyway, that was my 9/11. Rory says, "I would have had to read the newspaper and TV to get the stock prices. Phone them in." Yeah, back in the day. Larry says, 20-year-old me thought Bitcoin at 50 cents was a ripoff. Yeah, I was there too. I actually, somebody was trying to sell me on Bitcoin back when it was even low. It was lower than 50 cents. It was like, I don't know if it was a quarter or something. And I was just like, "No, I'm not getting involved in that. That's a scam. They're just stealing your money." Yeah. Oh boy. Could you imagine, even if I had bought 4 of them, if I just spent $1 and bought 4 and, well, actually, knowing my luck, I probably would have lost them. But Scratch took a look on the 2-year, 10-year U.S. yield charts. You will see major events on this chart, and it brings another view with the world we live in. Ring those phones. Michael says, "Hello, Candace. Glad 20-year-old me in the 1980s pursued history as a career, as I would terrified to do so today with AI." Yeah, it's actually, there's a lot of new. I'm starting to see this new form of AI slop, history slop. Basically, people making, and some of them, I actually watched one. I watched one, and it actually wasn't bad. It was the girl went back to the caveman days, but I was just like, oh, okay. But most of it was AI. And she does a bunch of other ones. I think she did the Titanic and a few others. I watched the one. It wasn't bad. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think AI, like I think I don't want to call it a slippery slope. Like if AI can do it good, I'm okay with it. I'm okay. As long as, and here's the thing, this is my thing. If you want to make AI history videos, fantastic. Just make sure they're factually accurate. Like don't take liberties. Like don't take liberties. Make them factual, make them, make them as they should be. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Actually, it's funny. George Lucas in an interview recently said he's okay with AI, and he says that Hollywood needs to adapt to AI, and it can bring a lot of the costs down. So they should absolutely be using it. So it's kind of interesting. But then again, keep in mind, George Lucas is the guy who as soon as computer generated imagery got really good, started creating the special editions of Star Wars and such. Scratch, still a ripoff, but you could have made a ton of money. 50,000 shares of MSTE at 10 cents. Will it split 100 to 1? Could you imagine? Gary, I'm asking you. Yes, I'm going to hold Gary up to his word. He said that we're going to do a collab here in August, so that's coming up. All right, guys. Oh my gosh, we actually went past the 2 hours and 30-minute mark. That's fine. We will be back here tomorrow. We're going to play Canadian Battleship. I can't wait at the market close. Let's see what this day tomorrow, this red mess that's coming called Monday. We'll see what it looks like. Hopefully, I'm hoping we're all really wrong about tomorrow, but I don't think we are. Until then, though, guys, I do have a couple of things I wanted to say on my way out, and that is, well, hey, thank you for all being here. First of all, second, bye-bye.